Hello friends, hi, myself Saurav. We are again back with a very interesting video on new versus old tax regime. I think this is the hot topic and each one of you are interested to calculate whether you should opt for a new or old tax regime. Because in this budget, government has made it mandatory that new tax regime will be the default tax regime. So you need to opt for old tax regime. Let's say if you were following since previous years in your company portal. So now you need to just opt for the old tax regime if let's say you wanted to continue with old, or if you want to opt for new regime will be the default tax regime. So I'm sharing a link out here and we'll talk about the difference between old and new tax regime, how you can compare and see which tax regime is better for you. And at the end, I'll also share this simple link in the description box. So you can just download the link and you can also compute old versus new, whichever one is better for you. Okay, so let's quickly go and explore. So I hope this link is very much visible to all of you. And this is a Excel based calculator which we have computed, and we have just plotted new versus old side by side so that you can just compare which one is better for you, and you can take an advantage and you can calculate and choose the appropriate tax regime. Okay, so just one pointer, enter the cells, enter the numbers in the cells highlighted in yellow, and just look new versus old, and just begin by inputting your details. The first input which you should put is your CTC, the gross salary that is visible when you get your computation sheet, you get the gross salary. First, let's come to the new tax regime because it's very simple. You just need to put your CTC, assuming let's say if your CTC is close to 20 lakhs. So just put 20 lakhs out here. And below, once you scroll down, you will just have to enter two numbers. Only two exemptions are available. First, standard deduction, 50,000. This is by default, so don't change it. From this year onwards, standard deduction has also been eligible for the taxpayers who file tax in the new tax regime. Another is NPS contribution, but only through your organization. So now we are contributing to NPS via two methods. You can eventually contribute to NPS via two methods. First is self-contribution, where you log into the NPS portal and you contribute 50,000 rupees in tier one. The second option is you route it through your employer. Your employer debits X amount of money from let's say your salary, and they contribute to the employer. So in case of new tax regime, if you want to contribute to NPS, please get it done through your employer. Otherwise, you will not get tax exemption. So let's consider here a gentleman is contributing, let's say around 1 lakh rupees to NPS through his organization. And eventually you will see what is the total tax liability as per the new tax regime. So 20 lakhs was the CTC, 50,000 is standard deduction, 1 lakh, let's say NPS contribution through employer route, and you get the total taxes as 2 lakh 65. This is eventually what you need to pay. All other exemptions, whether it is ATC, ATD, interest on housing loan, etc., HRA, you cannot claim under the new tax regime. This I think we are very much clear of. Now let's come to the old tax regime. So considering, let's say we have a CTC of 20 lakh rupees, just put the figure 20 lakh rupees out here. Okay, and then just scroll down. ATC, most of us are investing in so ATC 1.5 lakhs, considering your employee provident fund, your policies, etc. Take care of your ATC part. You have a medical insurance premium which you pay for yourself. If you pay for your parents who are above the age of 60, that also you can enter. If it's not, then probably you can skip it. Home loan interest. If you have taken a housing loan, definitely, the interest as a component of EMI which you pay, you will get exemption. If you have, enter, otherwise you can skip it. Let's assume in this case, this gentleman has a home loan interest of 1.5 lakhs, which he is claiming exemption. Interest on education loan, you can enter. Electric vehicle, again, the exemption limit is 1.5 lakhs. Standard deduction 50,000 by default, it will be there. And any children education allowance. NPS, again, if you are contributing from your side directly by logging into portal, you can do that. And 1 lakh, just considering as if you are contributing to your organization. So this 1 lakh will reflect in both the columns. HRA, if you are staying in a rented house, you can claim HRA. Just calculate the exemptions as per the HRA calculation, and you can just put down this number. Any donation, any LTA, leave travel allowance, meal allowance, card allowance, let's say which company gives to you, and deductions once you furnish the bill, you can enter the details and you will see difference versus old. So you look at this particular scheme, this particular criteria where, let's say, this gentleman having a CTC of 20 lakh rupees, he does ATC, he has interest on housing loan also. He has having medical, he does NPS, self, and let's say through employer. The total tax as per the new old tax regime comes up to 2,68,000, and total tax as per the new tax regime comes up to 65. It's almost similar. Now let's assume that this gentleman doesn't have any interest on housing loan. So in that case, you just look at, if he files return as per the old tax regime, he has to pay 3.15 lakhs as a tax, but as per the new tax regime, it comes up to 2.65. So it's a very simple calculator where you just need to put down what all exemptions which has been considered from your computation sheet and just calculate new versus old and arrive at the figure. I hope this video will help you in a very, very simple terms in identifying new versus old, which one you should select. And I'm just putting this link in the description box of this YouTube videos. You can just click download, and please share your feedback, show your thumbs up, likes, whatever, whatever is your feedback about this video. Thank you. Thanks a lot.